Good morning, Pride Lead, Veterans Day edition. I don't know about you guys, but those of you that served, I want to say thank you for your service. I know that sounds rather cliche, but disabled vigilantes definitely appreciates those that gave up their time and energy at the best parts of their lives to ensure that whatever this country represents is protected. Regardless, let's not get too political. I just want to say on this Veterans Day, as we approach week 10, that I'm very appreciative to live in this country and to all those that serve to protect the freedoms that we have today. I mean, look around the world, there's not too many places I'd rather be when you're looking at terms of prosperity and potential. I mean, we got our problems. Don't get me wrong, but this country definitely represents freedom in a way that I can get on board with. Ish. As a black man living in America, I've also seen some of the more shystier sides of America. But with that being said, love is something that you do despite the faults of what you're loving, right? So, nobody's perfect, so I accept America for what it was, what it is, and what it will be. I was feeling really nostalgic, so I was looking back. I don't know if anybody, we haven't even talked about football yet. It's almost been 2 minutes, but I don't know. I was trying to feel a little nostalgic. I think this was from my first poopy suit when I went on deployment, and some material that went way back. This would be that red dog tag. I don't know if anybody knows what this red dog tag is. I might send them like a bag of coffee or something. Anyway, this is old. This is like almost 20 years old, actually. And then I had this thing when I was with subgroup 7. Oh God, at the bottom there it says ship's office linebacker, and I was, in my fantasy days, but also my like flag football days. I was office linebacker, and I don't know if you don't know what an office linebacker is. I need you to Google that and get up with the times. Anyway, welcome to week 10. That was my little spill about the Veterans Day. In case you didn't know, Disabled Vigilantes also is a moniker for DV, which is also a moniker for disabled veterans. So, it's a little two-pronged approach to it, but Disabled Vigilantes is coming at you, baby, and we are primed for week 10. After the dismal few weeks that we had previously, we are now ready to get into November, my guys, and get into November we will. You know what I mean? So let's without ado, let's look at my picks, right? From the easiest for me to pick happened to be against Dunder Mifflin, going up against Disabled Vigilantes, and those boys that scran wide-eyed, Michael Scott looking like panic. Holy smokes. The guys at Disabled Vigilantes, despite Kyler Murray and D-Hop being in the lineup and not playing, still came out on top, still almost scored 200 points with those massive, check mark for DV, So, next one that was kind of easy for me to pick was Griffey Cakes going up against Bull City. I think Bull City has now hit a rough patch. The rigors of the regular season, Bull City started off kind of average. And so now if the moves that you make during the regular season aren't conducive to victories, this is what happens when you have an average team in the beginning and it just tapers off. Bull City is slowly but surely falling down my power rankings, and Griffey Cakes is, I don't know, spoils go to the victor, right? So check mark. Boom. We're on a good pace right now. What about my third easiest? I had redacted ADP 1897 going up against those West Coast Giants. And of course I picked the West Coast Giants because ADP Now, I woke up this morning and I saw a massive trade. Now, my initial reaction is that this trade is insane for Classy Strippers. It gives him all these picks back, makes him relevant back in the draft, and he gives up but some major pieces. So these pieces will not only help ADP against me coming up this week, but that's fine. That's fine. That's neither here nor there. But I'm cool with this. It'll also strengthen him once the Panthers, DJ Moore, they get right. Moore is going to be an excellent wide receiver to try to hold on to for years to come. We'll see if that's even possible. The management of these teams is going to take some delicate maneuvering. So we'll see how it goes when people start seeing what the impact of salary caps are, when the inflation starts to rise. We'll see what comes to the top and what tends to turn into fertilizer. But I got that one right. West Coast Giants, he had goose egg spots too, but that, ADP had like two. Backfire? You're not me, my guy. You can't put up two goose eggs and then be like, I still win. But it's a little backfire from ADP. But I think ADP's kind of like in scramble mode, trying to figure out what he wants. Just know that this is a long haul. You want to be. I want to win. I want to win year 4. I don't know the rest of you guys. If you guys want to win every off year, by all means, winning year 4 will definitely tide me over. So. That's neither here nor there. My 4th easiest pick was the boss going up against Dynasty Sage. And trust me, if Dynasty Sage would have won, I'd have probably worn a Leaf headband today. But unfortunately, I picked the boss. The boss actually did win. It was a clutch D. I mean, the boss's defense is the most consistent in the league. And I'll go out on a limb and say that his defense is winning him games that very well could put him in the playoffs. Good on you, kid. The 5th easiest game, I Wubba Lubba Dub Dub kind of made some transactions, after I made this prediction. I don't know, whatever it is. Wubba Lubba Dub Dub is not out of it due to Derrick Henry's foot problem. So I kind of, tried to wish it into existence that the Wubba Lubba Dub Dub's team kind of became inept, and it's the depth is still questionable, but the team, it's a 14-team league. His depth may be fine because of what we have at the bottom, depending on the matchup. But playoff time, that's going to be a different story. But I was wrong. I'll own it. Wubba Lubba Dub Dub, and in the power rankings, it'll be reflected. My apologies. Wubba Lubba Dub Dub. You know what I mean? And the 6th pick, I had Agent Smith going up against Classy Strippers. I almost won with Classy Strippers for the update, and I'm upset, and I'm glad I didn't, because Agent Smith, holy smokes, that is going to be an interesting roster going down the stretch. I didn't expect half of his players to be as good as they are. And the fact that they are, and there's like a consistency involved in here. I feel like I've dropped the ball on some of these guys, and Agent Smith is prosperous. So, I can't even call it. But he's doing the thing, and it also reflects in the power rankings. And the hardest game for me to pick was Unfuckwittable going up against Stacking Yards, right? I picked Unfuckwittable because, I guess it can't last forever, all the offensive points. And I think the lack of D kind of really caught up to Unfuckwittable. Not to mention Jonathan Taylor. 40 burger. What are you going to do now, my guy? It's unfortunate. You play the stud, you gotta, you're probably gonna lose. Like, I don't care who you are, you're going up against a guy that is, the comets align and the fucking energy from the sun is emitted, and you get fruit. You're gonna lose. I'm just babbling anyway. So that was my picks. I think I was a solid 5-2, right? So 5-2, that's not too bad. Giving me on the year on the year we're 37-26. above 500. It's not the greatest. I will improve as I, start to realize the scoring system. I mean, this is the first time I've played with this particular scoring system too. So it's going to take a little adjustment period. But so far, I think I've done fairly well predicting on who's going to win, who's going to lose, even calling some upsets, or for the most part, being wrong on a lot of upsets. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. That's what happened in week 9. I mean, that's in the past, right? Why even mention the fact that Dunder Mifflin has had the lowest score in the past 3 weeks? And to top it off, why even mention that he has the lowest score ever in a week? I want to say we were at 158. Oh, setting the bar, my guy, but not in a good way. You're setting the bar. Dunder Mifflin, I don't know. I think we're going to have to close the branch. Are we going to have to close the branch? Oh, smokes. But where there's negative, you always got to look at the silver lining. And I think stacking yards is going to be my fantasy stud for week 9. It was the first time, right? So, I mean, I haven't reached stud status yet. My roster is amazing, but it's been going through a lot of hardships. So kudos to stacking yards, doing the damn thing in week 9. Fantasy stud, fantasy dud, week 9's in the books. What about the future? Well, I mean, November is still fresh. What do we got to lose, right? Let's go ahead and start picking them in from the easiest for me to pick to the game of the week, essentially, right? Disabled Vigilantes going up against Redacted ADP 1897. Yeah, your boy got this one. I don't even have to explain it. I don't care if Kyler Murray and Hop don't play. I'm still winning this market. Still winning this. Anyway, the second easiest matchup for me was Agent Smith versus Dunder Mifflin. And boy, those boys in the office it must be cold in there. The heater must be broken and the winter's coming. The winter is coming, boys. And Agent Smith, I'm just mashing up all these hits, right? Agent Smith is going to duplicate, he's going to infiltrate, and he is going to dismantle any dissidents in the Matrix. Agent Smith, mark it up. Number 3, stacking yards versus Bull City. And like I said, Bull City is in a bit of decline. We'd love to see a resurgence from Bull City. We'd love to see it, but it ain't gonna happen this week. Stacking yards. Moving on. At number 4, I've got Classy Strippers going up against the Boss. Oh. And who do I got winning this one? Typically in a matchup this close, I'm taking Classy Strippers. And after his trade, it is a good trade. He's got players that are going to play now that are, becoming relevant here toward the end of the season. Not to mention, he's got draft picks, but that's not why I'm not picking him. I think it was a good move for Classy Strippers. Not enough to take on the Boss, though. I think the Boss gets this victory and starts pushing his way and solidifying his spot in the playoffs. This is prime. Defenses are key. So he's got some players that are on some teams that are ready to make a difference. Hey, got the Boss. Prove me wrong, Strip. Prove me wrong. And at number 5, I've got Dynasty Sage going up against those Hollywood Cole brothers. Now, trust me, I've been on the Hollywood Cole brothers train, but boop, boop, I think this is where I depart. There's no way I'm taking Dynasty Sage, right? I've been hitting them all year. You're wrong. Dynasty Sage gets this victory. It was a tough one for me, but I'm giving it to Dynasty Sage because I kind of want to wear the headband next week. That's just me, right? So Dynasty Sage, mark it up. At 6, almost the game of the week, we have those West Coast Giants going up against Griffey Cakes, right? And I really wanted to take Griffey Cakes in this matchup, but I'm going to go with the West Coast Giants. It was really a coin flip for me. Not a whole lot of reasoning. I'm picking the Giants. I don't know why. And then the game of the week, we've got Wubba Lubba Dub Dub going head to head with Unfuckwittable. And these guys have been interchanging 1, 2, and 3 spots all year. And that crazy time I put Wubba Lubba Dub Dub out the platform. I'm not going to go there, right? This matchup has firework potential. We definitely could be going to the wire on Monday night, seeing who gets this victory. I don't even know if they got guys playing on Monday. I'm just hyping the train, right? Whoop, whoop, hype train. But who do I have winning this game? Picking Wubba Lubba Dub Dub. Wubba Lubba Dub Dub! Get that victory, my guy. Go ahead and solidify. It's like, Derek, who? Fuck him, right? You know what I mean? I'm still winning this. I like the attitude. I like the gumption. I like the trades. Just to solidify the depth, Wubba Lubba Dub Dub is doing what he's got to do to be relevant. Not just now, but for years to come. And Unfuckwittable is starting to get a little, people starting to figure it out. You're starting to get closer to them playoff matchups. You're starting to get a little resistance from your high-powered offense. And that's fine. But the defense has to be better, my guy, or you're going to be lost. By the time you get to the playoffs, everybody's offense is going to be right. And it's going to be, to me, it'll be the defense. If the defenses can just float you above week to week in the playoffs, you're going to end up victorious. And, right now, out of the playoff teams, Unfuckwittable's defense is hot garbage on a summer day, if you tell me, son. But, he can fix it, He can get down into the waiver wire and eat everything from the rooter to the tutor. You know what I mean? But we'll see. I mean, it's about ownership. It's about management. Who knows what the plan is, what the vision is. So we'll see. But those are my picks for week 10. And with those picks in mind, let's go to the power ranking, shall we? Let's go ahead and wrap this up real quick. This is getting longer than I expected, but I had to reminisce. So, at 14, new spot alert. Them boys at Dunder Mifflin are 14. Them boys at Dunder Mifflin 14. I mean, you get done 3 weeks in a row. You definitely don't get favorite or preferential treatment. I don't give a fuck what your record is. Dunder Mifflin, 14. That moves ADP up to 13. Hollywood, I'm pulling you back. You're at 12. Let's go ahead, pull you back. Let's show me something. Can you do what I don't think you can do and beat Dynasty Sage? Trust me, you will fall even further. You lose to Sage this week. And speaking of Sage, moving that guy up to 11. I see something in that man. I see it. He's not ready to give up. And who knows what can happen in these next 5 games? He could easily slide to 7. So, never give up. I like the attitude, Naruto. I like it, Sage. At 10, we're going to leave Bull City there. It's when he loses to Stack, it's probably going to fall. We got Classy Strippers at 9. I think he's hitting a rough stint in his schedule, kind of, and it could be problematic. Hits the moves and seeing what he can do. I mean, if this season is, maybe he looked into the future. Maybe it's like the odds aren't in his favor. He wants to prepare for next year. By all means, I don't know what's going on in the other co-commissioner's head, but you could bet it's going to be interesting. So I got Classy Strippers down at 9. And then at 8, I'm going to go ahead and pull Griffey Case back to 8. Not kind of sure how this is going to pan out, but, this is like a safety precaution. In the nitty-gritty, the top 7. At 7, we've got those West Coast Giants. We're going to push them up and toward the playoff contention spot. We're going to leave the boss at 6. I'll go ahead and pull myself back to 5. I mean, even though I'm going to dominate this week, I'm a give respect to 4. Unfuckwittable. Took a little bit of a tumble, right? I put you at 4. Simply because I think you'll lose to Wubba Lubba Dub Dub this week. At 3, we've got Stacking Yards. So you gotta leave that, where it is right now. Kind of Stack, kind of doing his thing. I think he'll beat Bull City and kind of cement where he is in the power rankings. Then we got number 2, Wubba Lubba Dub Dub. I apologize. You had to beat the bricks off that guy like that. Prove a point. I'll put you back at number 2, my guy. Relax. And at number 1, Agent Smith. Sneaky Agent Smith controlling the simulation as we see it. Woo! Agent Smith doing the damn thing. New number 1. Knock it out. Those are the power rankings. We're over 20 minutes, gentlemen. I apologize for the length of the video. But, as always, I hope you have a good week. Everybody except that redacted ADP guy. Holy smokes. We'll talk about redacted. The whole team looked like it got a black marker running through it. Anyway. But, hope everybody has a pleasant week. Happy Veterans Day to all my veterans and those that can serve in a different capacity. Maybe your children's a veteran. Maybe you got an uncle that's a veteran. Everybody is doing their part. I don't want to get it twisted. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here this week. Peace.